Welcome back to Adoptee Things. Today we are going to talk about my search for my brother. So I did not know that I had a half-brother from my birth mother until about 18 years old. That was when I got access to my adoption files. I got to go through everything that my birth mother had left behind in terms of information about herself, about my sister, and about a brother I never knew I had. He was also adopted. He was born first, and then my sister was born a few years later and was raised by my birth mother, and a few years later I was born. But I never knew that there was another sibling in the mix. We have no idea where he is. We don't even know if he knows that he's adopted. Lucky for me, our birth mother left me tons of information. Birthday, name and birth. So I have been on the search to find him. Of course, I had no idea where to start. I doubt his name is still the same as it was when he was born, so I didn't think Facebook was an option. But as I was reading through my files, I look in the corner of the page, and in tiny little handwriting it says, adopted through insert name of the agency here. And I'm thinking, we just hit jackpot. She, my birth mother, had put down the adoption agency. They must have files, they must know. I just need to figure out how to find it. So I go to the website of this adoption agency. They turn out to not be actually working as an adoption agency anymore, but they have a post-adoption program. And so I click, and there it says, if you are a sibling of an adoptee from our agency, you can fill out this paperwork and we can see if you can get in contact with your sibling. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I've been looking for. It's all laid out right in front of me. All I have to do is sign and send it in and we're good to go, right? Not so easy as it turns out. I start corresponding back and forth with the adoption agency or former adoption agency, and they are the kindest people, specifically the woman that I've been working with. So responsive and so helpful. I was not expecting it at all, and she helped me walk through the process of creating a waiver of rights to confidentiality siblings form. So that basically is saying that here's my information, we are siblings, if you would like to get in contact, I'm open to it. But there's a catch. I can submit the form, but nothing's going to happen unless he submits the form too. It's gotta be both ways. And so I was just sending it in on a wing and a prayer, thinking, okay, I just need to do my part, and if his information's there, it's there. If it's not, at least I know I did all I could. Then one day the adoption agency called me, and they told me that the last name of my brother doesn't match my last name. Are we related? Basically, you have to prove that, of course, you are related to the person you're looking for. But the catch was that I was also adopted. My name was not the same as it was when I was born. My name originally had the same last name as my brother's, but now I have a different name, of course. So they had to go through the government of my state and find out if I was actually related to my brother, which of course I am, and they confirmed. But it was pretty funny because they said they have never had an adoptee search for a sibling who is also an adoptee. If that's your case, just know that they might have to add another week or two onto your waiting time just to be able to prove that you are in fact related to your sibling. So I sent it in. Finally, everything has been processed and paperwork has been put through. And then I get the letter saying my brother has not filed his paperwork yet. Dead end. I thought, that's it. That's done. There's nothing I can do. I told my sister and we walked away with the feeling that we've done all we can do. Now we just have to wait and hope that maybe he gets curious and submits his form. But then comes Christmas time, my favorite time of year. And so I'm sending out Christmas cards, as I do every year. I love to send Christmas cards. And I'm thinking, you know who probably doesn't get very many Christmas cards? Adoption agencies. Or, well, maybe they do, but I don't know. I'm thinking, let's send the card, say thank you. These people do incredible work that I think they need to be thanked for. So I go back on the website, look under the main page for their address. And right at the bottom of the page I see, if you're interested in finding out more about post-adoption services, click here, Social Services Adoptions Branch. I'm like, oh, okay, I've never seen this before. Maybe it's new or maybe I missed it. I click and it says, if you are looking for a sibling who's been adopted, it says step 1, do the waiver of rights form, which I've done. But then it said step 2, if your sibling has not submit their waiver of rights form, you can now go through the process of requesting a confidential intermediary who basically looks for your sibling to the best of their ability, contacts them and asks, would you like to fill out this waiver of rights for a sibling form? You have someone trying to contact you. That's my knowledge of it, to the best of my understanding. And so of course, within maybe 2 days, I have my paperwork filled out. I have just found an open door. My brother still might be able to be found and maybe given a little poke. I'm here. Do you want to get to know me? I would love to get to know you, and so would your other sister. So I'm going through the paperwork, and the paperwork says that I have to send it to the superior court that the adoption was finalized through. I'm like, okay, that sounds easy enough. I was adopted in this city in California, so I'll just look it up, Superior Court of this city. And so I Google, but it turns out that city has 12 superior courts. Which one do I send it to? I make a call to the first one that pops up, and it's a machine. Calling several times, trying to work the machine myself, and I finally get through to a human being. And they have no idea what I'm talking about. But after some explanation and probing, they think it's probably this specific court that handles adoption cases. I'm like, yes, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And so I call them, and it's another machine. But at least now I had an address. And that's basically where I'm at now. I have shipped off my paperwork requesting a confidential intermediary, and now we play the waiting game. I will talk about the waiting game in another video, but the waiting game it is, and now we hope the paperwork goes through, we hope we find my brother, and we hope that siblings can be united. Thanks so much for listening. I will update you as soon as I have more information. Hopefully this will take us to the next step in finding my brother. And if you have ever gone through the process of a confidential intermediary, please let me know. I would love to hear how it went for you. If you had success, just anything, what happened, I would love to hear it. And if you have any suggestions or have been through the process of looking for an adopted sibling before, please let me know. I would love to hear your stories. Thanks so much. Until next time.